Have you ever wondered about the history of the Dukes of Hazzard? Few television shows capture the essence of action-packed, small-town adventure quite like the Dukes of Hazzard. Premiering in 1979 and running for 7 successful seasons, this series combined high-flying car chases, good-natured humor, and an underdog spirit that made it a beloved staple of American pop culture. But beyond the jumps, moonshine, and fast cars, the Dukes of Hazzard also had a rich and sometimes controversial history. This is the story of the Duke Boys and their lasting impact on television. Welcome to History Wonder. The Dukes of Hazzard was inspired by the 1975 film Moonrunners, a lesser-known movie about a family of moonshiners who outwit corrupt law enforcement. Created by Guy Waldron, the film's themes, rebellion, fast cars, and southern charm, were repackaged into a television format by Warner Brothers Television. When the show premiered on CBS on January 26, 1979, few anticipated just how big it would become. The series followed cousins Bo and Luke Duke, played by John Schneider and Tom Wopat, as they navigated life in fictional Hazzard County, Georgia. Alongside them was their cousin Daisy Duke, played by Captain Bach, their wise Uncle Jesse, played by Denver Pyle, and their trusty mechanic friend Cooper Davenport, played by Ben Jones. The Duke Boys were former moonshiners serving probation and were perpetually at odds with the corrupt county commissioner, Boss Hogg, played by Sorrel Brook, and his bumbling sidekick, Sheriff Roscoe P. Coltrane, played by James Best. The premise was simple but effective. Each episode saw the Dukes get into and out of trouble, while evading the law in their iconic car, the General Lee, a bright orange 1969 Dodge Charger with a Confederate flag on the roof and the number 01 on the side. The combination of high-speed chases, outrageous stunts, and comedic escapades quickly won over audiences. During its early seasons, the Dukes of Hazzard became a runaway success. By the early 1980s, it was one of the highest-rated shows on television, regularly pulling in millions of viewers each week. Much of the show's appeal stemmed from its mix of action, humor, and family-friendly storytelling. While Bo and Luke were technically lawbreakers, they were always portrayed as good-hearted rebels who fought against corruption and injustice. The show also capitalized on Southern culture, incorporating country music, rustic settings, and an us versus them mentality that resonated with a broad audience. At its height, the series spawned a massive wave of merchandise, from lunchboxes and toys to model cars and board games. The General Lee itself became an icon, with fans attempting to replicate its stunts or customizing their own cars to look like the famous Dodge Charger. The popularity of the Dukes of Hazzard extended beyond television. The show's theme song, Good Old Boys, performed by country legend Waylon Jennings, became a hit, reaching number 1 on the Billboard country charts. Cast members made public appearances, and even a short-lived animated spin-off, The Dukes, aired in 1983. While The Dukes of Hazzard was a light-hearted show on screen, behind the scenes things weren't always smooth. One of the biggest controversies occurred in 1982, when John Schneider and Tom Wopat, the stars who played Bo and Luke Duke, left the series due to a contract dispute over merchandising revenue. With the show's 2 main leads gone, CBS scrambled to introduce replacement characters, Coy and Vance Duke, played by Byron Cherry and Christopher Mayer. However, audiences did not respond well to the new characters, and ratings plummeted. By the next season, Schneider and Wopat returned, bringing the show back to its former glory. One of the biggest production challenges for the Dukes of Hazzard was the constant need for Dodge Chargers to portray the iconic General Lee. Due to the show's high-speed chases and daring jumps, dozens of Chargers were wrecked in nearly every episode. The production team initially found a steady supply of late 60s Dodge Chargers from junkyards and used car lots, but as the series progressed, these cars became increasingly difficult to source. To keep up with demand, the producers resorted to modifying other vehicles to resemble the General Lee, using fiberglass shells, roll cages, and even reusing old stunt footage to reduce the number of destroyed cars. By later seasons, the scarcity of Dodge Chargers became so severe that the crew began using miniatures and other creative filming techniques to maintain the illusion of endless car chases. Despite its enormous success, the Dukes of Hazzard was not without controversy. The most debated issue was the use of the Confederate flag on the roof of the General Lee. While initially seen as a nod to Southern culture, the flag's deeper historical associations eventually led to criticism. As attitudes towards Confederate symbols changed over time, so did the perception of the General Lee, with some networks and streaming services choosing to pull reruns of the show. Despite this, the Dukes of Hazzard remains an important piece of television history. It represents an era of TV where good-hearted mischief, family bonds, and action-packed stunts were all at the forefront of entertainment. Many fans argue that the show's themes of fighting corruption and standing up for what's right transcend any political debate. Though the original series ended in 1985, the Dukes of Hazzard never truly disappeared. The show inspired several made-for-TV reunion movies in the late 90s, including The Dukes of Hazzard Reunion in 1997, The Dukes of Hazzard: Hazzard in Hollywood in 2000. These films brought back the original cast and were well received by longtime fans. The 2005 film The Dukes of Hazzard, directed by Jay Chandrasekhar, attempts to bring the beloved 1979 TV series to the big screen, but with mixed results. Starring Johnny Knoxville as Luke Duke, Sean William Scott as Bo Duke, and Jessica Simpson as Daisy Duke, the movie follows the cousins as they try to stop Boss Hogg, played by Burt Reynolds, from seizing their family farm. The film retains the series' signature high-speed car chases, outrageous stunts, and comedic action, but leans heavily into crude humor and over-the-top antics, diverging from the charm and heart of the original show. While fans of the General Lee's jumps and high-energy action may find some entertainment value, the film's reliance on slapstick and raunchy jokes alienated many of the longtime fans of the series. Ultimately, The Dukes of Hazzard is a fun but forgettable action comedy that struggles to capture the nostalgic magic of the original show. The legacy of the TV show also lives on in car culture. The General Lee remains one of the most recognizable vehicles in TV history, with numerous tribute models appearing at car shows and events. Some of the original Dodge Chargers from the show have sold for hundreds of thousands of dollars at auction. More than 4 decades after its debut, The Dukes of Hazzard continues to hold a special place in television history. It embodies a unique blend of action, comedy, and adventure that has rarely been replicated. While some elements of the show may be viewed differently today, its core themes of family, justice, and fun-loving rebellion remain universal. For many, watching The Dukes of Hazzard is a nostalgic return to simpler times, a world where the good guys win, the bad guys get outsmarted, and a high-speed car chase can solve almost any problem. It may have been just a TV show, but for fans, it was much more than that. It was a way of life. So whether you're watching an old episode, reminiscing about the General Lee, or humming along to Waylon Jennings' theme song, one thing is certain: The Dukes of Hazzard will always be just a good old boy kind of show, never meaning no harm, but making a lasting impact on pop culture. Thanks for watching. What topics in history have you wondered about? Comment below and let us know what videos you would like to see. And be sure to like and subscribe.